Hello everyone and welcome to our final webinar on Atlas Open Call. That's the second round of open calls we are running in our project, and we are aiming with this webinar to help you to understand what is Atlas about, what is open call about, what are the solutions we are looking for, who are behind the Atlas, who are the people who are driving Atlas. First of all, of course, we are aiming to answer all your questions that you might have to us. So you see, we are. I'm not alone today, as usual. So those of you who are participating in all our webinars already know the people present today. But yeah, I introduce my colleagues anyway. So Stefan Rieling from Fraunhofer, he's the Atlas coordinator. Grigoris Magdakis and Petros Kasteratos, Agro Apps company, it's also Atlas partner. And we are having two winners from last year, people that won Atlas funding through the first open call, Denis Vicino from SET Electronics and Dietrich Kortenbrock from Exatrack. So you will hear them all today, and we hope for many questions from your side. And I'm happy to give the word to Stefan to walk us through the Atlas project.
Thank you very much, Tamara. So also hello from my side. Good afternoon. Many thanks for joining this last webinar regarding the open calls, and many thanks for your interest. So what will happen today is that we present you the technical part of Atlas, what it's all about, and how we approach the tasks we have in Atlas. I will present you the, we'll start sharing my screen. Can we see the screen?
Yes, it's perfectly well.
Yes, so good. Then I will today present you what we call the Atlas reference architecture, which is the technical foundation of Atlas, and which will hopefully answer some of your questions already there. But of course, we are here today to answer to any question you might have. So yeah, Atlas is stands for Agriculture Interoperability and Analysis System, and it already says what Atlas is about. It's about interoperability of digital systems in agriculture. So I think I do not have to tell a lot about this. So farming is complex, lots of different things involved, and also already on modern farms lots of different software systems in use. This is one example from one of our farming partners. One farm, 7 different systems in use already by this farmer, and I think that will increase in the future. And what we also have is multi-vendor fleets, so different machines from different manufacturers. This is also quite common, especially here in Europe. And yeah, this is all a good thing. But when it comes to interoperability between different systems, it starts getting complicated. So getting data from system A to system B might be quite cumbersome and difficult. And this is what we are addressing in this Atlas project. It's the interoperability between machines, between sensors, and between data services. And we want to achieve this through a set of standardized services, standardized interfaces to enable a seamless and smooth data exchange The concept behind that is that we have a decentralized architecture defined and also already implemented significant parts of it. And around that architecture, this architecture and this implemented systems will enable to connect to a network of services and to develop a ecosystem of services around that platform. So, as I said, we have been working on drafting the reference architecture within the last year, I would say. That was mainly driven through a bottom-up approach. So we defined multiple use cases. We involved stakeholders from very different parts of the agricultural world. So machinery industry, livestock farming, data providers, data processing providers. So all these stakeholders were around the table in the discussion groups, and we specified there the basic interoperability building blocks of this architecture, and we came to two basic concepts which complement each other. First part is a cloud-based data exchange and processing. So we have different cloud-based systems, for example, farm management systems or data providers like satellite data providers, and you connect them by means of standardized services. And the second part of that concept is that we provide a unified access to edge computing and processing capabilities. You see it here on the right image, so that the cloud-based data exchange is mainly realized through what we call the service registry. I will come to that in a moment, and the edge computing part is realized by what we call the Atlas App Engine. So what are these building blocks? As I said, the service registry, that is more or less a trusted directory of network participants offering services in the Atlas network. So this is the entity you can use for service discovery. You can compare it to a kind of a phone book where you can just look up information on how to connect to services. Then the edge computing part, these are two elements we have here. We have, on the one hand, we have what we call the app engine. This is an edge computing platform for apps. So you can more or less compare that to your smartphone, where you are connected to an app store. You can download applications and run that. And we want to do the same with this app engine and provide in this app engine APIs to connect to different sensor systems, to exchange data via sensor systems, and also to connect to agricultural machines. And this app engine is then also connected to an entity we call equipment center. In the equipment center, a farmer can manage his or her different app engines in use. So this is kind of a management tool where you see all your app engines in use on your farm, and you can then also use that to administrate the apps running on these app engines. And this equipment center also enables the communication between services and apps, because edge computing is not approached as a standalone solution in Atlas, but it's always interconnected to cloud-based service processing. So a little bit more of detail on how it works. You see it here on the right hand, so on the right side. So consider you have two software systems. You have a farm management information system, and you have a machinery platform where you have your tractor in. You are a farmer, and you have user accounts in both systems. So you can log into your FMIS, you can log into your machinery platform, and you can do things there. So on your machinery platform, you usually have functionalities for generating task data for your machine, or to retrieve task data from your machine, to which records, for example, what has been harvested or what has been brought out to the field. And you want that data in your FMIS to display it on a map and to further work with that in your FMIS. And with Atlas, you can do that by pairing services and service clients provided by the machinery platform or by the FMIS. So what we have here then is we have network participants in Atlas. Participants are trusted legal entities which provide software systems. So a participant, or the two participants involved in this example, are the provider of the FMIS and the provider of the machinery platform. So these are the two participants. Then I said that services need to be somehow interconnected, and this can be done easily because in Atlas services are standardized, and these standards to describe services are called service templates. So service templates model agricultural building blocks with a very narrow functional scope and provide API definitions, parameter and data format specification. So one example for such a service template could be a task data template, which you see in this example, or a fertilization, soil fertilization service. So these are templates for specific services which model some kind of an agricultural use case. And services then are concrete implementations of service templates. So each service implements a well-known template which is defined. And with this, if we want to connect to a service, you know how the API looks, you know the endpoints, you know the data. And with this, you can interchange services. So a farmer here in this example having the FMIS in use, which has a task service client, he could easily connect this task service client to another machinery platform, getting data from another machine. And to interconnect these systems and services, they need to be what we call paired, and this pairing involves the service registry. So all information needed to pair these services to establish trusted relationships can be queried by using the service registry's public API. Under the hood, most of this pairing involves standard OAuth2 authorization flows. As I said, the service registry is the part which enables trusted communication in the Atlas network, and the service registry itself is a piece of software you would normally not interact with as a participant. But we have a interface to the service registry, which is built for exactly that purpose. And this is what we call the participant portal. So this is the management tool to administrate what gets published in the service registry. So as a participant, a potential participant, you log in the participant portal, create an account, register yourself, then get verified, and then you have access to the participant portal, and then you can register services there. You can then describe your service, describe the URLs, describe the OAuth parameters, and a lot of more things. And then you can send this information for approval. And then we have implemented some sort of automated service validation, which tests if the service is there, if the endpoints are reachable, all these things, but also a manual service validation. And if everything is approved, then your service is published in the registry and can be found by other participants. And with this technology in place, it is possible to interconnect different services to solve a complex agricultural task. Example here is given. For example, if you want to do fertilization of a field with multiple machines involved, you have different kinds of services. You have, for example, a field data service which manages all your field data. So not only boundaries, but also soil properties, history of things which have been done on that field. And then you might have a soil fertilization service which calculates the amount of fertilizer needed in which place. And then you have you create task files out of this soil fertilization advice. And so you have another service for this, which then connects to your machinery OEM services and puts the data on the machine. And for the result task info as applied, for example, this process is then also invoked, calling multiple services to collect the data and to bring it into the right place. So you can interconnect different services and you can build quite complex applications with this. Then, as already mentioned, the edge computing part of Atlas is also a quite important thing you need. So you have with this an extension of purely cloud-based services, and you might need that, for example, if you're in if you have low latency requirements, if you want to really process sensor data while driving over the field and control a sprayer or some other implements to the machine, or if you are in internetless scenarios, which is also often the case, then you need capabilities to process data on site or on board, and this is done using apps. So we open also here the system to integrate apps from different vendors, from multiple vendors. And what we implement in Atlas is this runtime environment to run apps on. As I said, we call that the app engine. And yeah, it's a hardware and an SDK providing access to sensors and to controls, and also the connection to the cloud-based services. So to summarize that, Atlas is about interoperability between agricultural machine sensors and data services. We use that through standardized and extensible interfaces. Data exchange is the main thing we are dealing with in Atlas. So we see interoperability mainly as the capability to exchange data, and everything is organized in a mostly decentralized architecture. As you have seen, we have mostly only a few central components needed to implement that network. So what does that all mean for you? If you want to participate in the open calls, we are expecting that probably you have all software systems in development, you develop them further, and what we would need to fit into Atlas is a defined interoperability scenario. So what we would require you to do is to integrate your systems into this interoperability network by implementing services. Implementing services which are then registered in the Atlas network and which are then available. So if you have an interoperability scenario for your solution, if it's not only a standalone solution, but if it's part of an agricultural process, then you would fit perfectly into Atlas. And that's it for now. Thank you very much. And
thank you for the very comprehensive presentation. I'm sure you all have a clear picture now what about Atlas, what the Atlas is, and what it isn't. Right. The main question is now how to join Atlas if you want to. And the short answer is very easy. I will quickly walk you through if you see now my, you must see now the web page, right? We have a dedicated web page that contains all the information about the open call. So you can go there and find everything you need to, starting with the general information and following by the video manual on how to apply. And you can apply from each page actually from the website. So you just click apply now and you will see the electronic submission platform where we gather all the proposals. Right, at the web page you also find a comprehensive description of each topic, of each challenge you can apply for, with all the information here, but I will anyway ask my colleagues to join me a little bit later, Gregory and Petros, and explain in details the specifics of each challenge briefly and what kind of solutions we are looking for. So you can watch the recordings of all the previous webinars. You can watch recordings of the webinars from last year and find some answers there. And of course, we highly recommend you to visit the page that we prepared carefully last year based on all your questions we gathered during the first round. So, and of course, from each, when you found all your answers, you can click apply now and go ahead. Anyway, anytime you can ask any questions from us. You can drop us a mail or give us a call, and you will find all the information here under contact on the web page. So this is the email address, right? So if you have any questions, I see that we have some questions, right? Hello, as this is the second open call, how can we ensure we build on the first call winner proposals and provide added value? Are there any details of these solutions available, not only the general idea? Thank you very much. Yes, so basically there is no task for you to build on the solutions of the first open call winners. The details of the use cases of Atlas are available. And besides, we are having today 2 open call winners, and they will share details with you. But again, there is no such need. Right, they will share with you insights. Right, so then Gregory, Petros, if you can just say a few words, what are the specifics, what you would like to emphasize for the potential?
Yes, yes, of course. Thank you much. Thank you very much, Tamara and Stefan, for the excellent introduction. I would like to highlight a couple of aspects with regards to the attendees of this webinar, considering that the majority of you will proceed and submit your proposal. First of all, good luck with that. We have seen also in the first open call of Atlas quite extensive interest coming from the participants. So we expect to have an equal large number of applications in the round 2, and also very impressive and interesting ideas. We'll not enter into much detail with regards to each of the specific challenges, since the majority of the information is there. I would like to highlight a couple of aspects. Also, grabbing from the last question that came, as also presented by Stefan, the main point within Atlas is to achieve interoperability and for you to build services that support this core aspect of Atlas on top of a number of challenges that are depicted in the open call document. What is requested from your side is to come with a proposition that satisfies the interoperability layer, but also addresses one of those 5 challenges. Kindly notice that there might be cases where you touch or you are in between of 2 challenges. Make sure to pick the most, let's say, the most right one that is your core problem or challenge that you address. Second point that I would like to highlight is that we are expecting ideas and propositions of at least technology readiness level 6. This means that you can justify it within your application that your proposition, your technology, your service has been already demonstrated in a relevant industrial environment. This is a critical part for us in order to understand the maturity of your idea and to make sure that funding goes in terms of addressing the challenge and, of course, populating the participants on top of the Atlas platform. Second point that I would like to highlight, that within the 5 challenges, there are 2 distinct groups. There is the first group that includes the challenge 1, weed and pest control, the challenge 2, referring to irrigation, and challenge 5, referring to livestock behavior analysis, management, and environmental impact, where within your propositions, we expect that you build on top of specific, let's say, technologies. Those are, as highlighted by Tamara, edge computing, robotics, robotics operation systems, and of course, in-field, in-band sensors. So it's very important while you're preparing your proposal to take into consideration all those aspects. Second and third and last, most important also is that within the open codes, we further to the resources provided by Atlas, we also can provide you with hubs, with our pilot partners, where you can pilot test your application, your services, if successfully evaluated. Nevertheless, it is also a part of your application, and at the same time, it could be mentioned within your proposal. If you already have an industrial partner or an end user that you have worked your applications or your services throughout the development phase, please feel free to mention them within your proposal, and why not to demonstrate and validate your service with them apart from the hubs or the pilot partners that are already involved within Atlas. Those, I would say, are the highlighted aspects that can, if taken into consideration, can make quite an extensive steps with regard to your application, receiving funding and moving forward. Again, the main idea is interoperability. We wish to deploy and enlarge this network of service providers that follow the Atlas paradigm, the Atlas reference architecture, and the Atlas logic. And we intend to give the funding to the most intuitive ones and the most, let's say, interesting ones that come to the attention. So good luck, and we are always, of course, throughout the duration of this open call announcement, at your availability for any questions. Tamara has already showcased to you the ways that you can reach out, but also following within this event, any questions that may arise, we are here to respond. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Gregory. Yes, yeah, as you mentioned, it's a very common question, as you mentioned at the beginning, which topic, which challenge to choose. So we don't have preferences at Atlas. So all the challenges are exciting for us and important for us. So it's up to you. You decide. So no one can say to you, no one can decide for you which topic to choose. Yeah, just because it's a very common situation when your solution suits more than one challenges. Yeah, but you are not allowed to submit several proposals for several different challenges with the same solution. So that's an important term of our participation. The text you can find, the text of the terms you can find. Actually, it's a good point. You can find here on the website. So again, you can read everything in advance, but also all this information contains on our electronic submission platform. So, well, I don't see any questions yet, and I would like to give the floor to our winners with the most exciting insights on why they joined Atlas, how, with which solution. So, what are the recommendations to be successful in the open call? Please, Denise, may I ask? Proceed.
Thank you, Tamara. Hello, everybody. Can I share just one slide in some way?
Of course, yep. Just a second. Yes, you can now.
I don't see how. Okay, that's not important. It's really easy. Let me introduce.
Now you should be able.
Oh, yeah.
Please. Okay. Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Meantime, we have another question. If you allow me quickly, what is the best approach to identify the site where to perform our tests? For example, we are interested to test our width sensor and it's not clear where could be the best place. Stefan or Gregory, can you probably answer this question?
Can you say it again?
Yeah, how to identify the right pilot site from our pool. So they are interested. The author Nicola Baldo is interested. They are interested to test their width sensor, and it's not clear what would be the best place.
What kind of sensor is it? Wind?
Weed.
Oh, okay, weed sensor. Yeah. Depends a little bit on the area of application. So is it in viticulture? Is it in orchards? Or is it in real on fields? We have all offer. So we have our farmers in the consortium available are growing tomatoes and all many other things on large fields, all kinds of arable goods. But we have also orchards and vineyards in the consortium. So the answer would be depends on or if it's a specific area of application. The sensor is mounted on a machine, or if it's stationary, or if it's a robot. So that if you could provide a little bit more information briefly, then I could say something more detailed on this.
Yes, just thank you, Stefan, and just to elaborate on that, we have on our webpage Innovation Hubs section. It seems to be a bug right now. We will ask our technical support, but usually when you click on the pilot site, you will see all the technical characteristics of the pilot site, and you can choose the suitable one. And again, so feel free to contact us with details. Right, no more questions for now. Denise, please, sorry for that. Please proceed.
Just to understand, do you see my screen or not?
Yes, very well.
Okay, so you see the slide. Yeah, so I am the CEO of Chat Electronics, an Italian SME. We participated in the previous Atlas call. We develop electronics and software systems with various applications in the industry and also to agriculture. So let's say to launch our technologies for agriculture, we were interested in this application because the interoperability is a very powerful features of precision farming. So until now, we have developed different services for the vineyard in particular, and we have proposed some of them in a proposal for Atlas. Especially, we have some computer vision system for detecting the growth of the canopy in the field. We have computer vision for the recognition and counting of insects, and we also have disease models for the vineyard. All of these were previously implemented in our private DSS, our private platform, and in Atlas now we are opening these services so that they can work jointly with other services in Atlas. And yeah, I think this is a good opportunity also to spread our products, to make them available together with with the synergies with other products, let's say. Regarding the application, let me really suggest to try to apply it if you have something that is suitable for the challenges, because it is very easy, the application, much more easier than other applications that I've done in the past, I would say, because the documentation is very clear. The template for the proposal is quite simple. You have some limited amount of space. So for this, I suggest you to really select your key ideas. So you have, I mean, it's a good opportunity. You don't have to spend too much time to write too much stuff, but you have to select the key features of your project, of course. All the sections of the proposals are described in details, so really I didn't have any doubt at that time about what to write. But of course, there is also a prompt assistance of Tamara in particular, who will ask any question of you. One last suggestion, I would say that I didn't take into account at the beginning, is to take a look really at the pilot studies as they are described in the website, and try to find a link with them between your solution and what is already planned to test in these studies. Also, you should take a look to the partnership of the whole Atlas network and try to imagine some connect with other partners. Because when you will work in this project, you will not be alone. It's not an individual project, but you have to, of course, interact with various partners. And this is the basics of the interoperability concepts. Some standards, and this is not done by your own, but it's done in a teamwork, let's say. So if you have any other question or curiosity, just ask. And good luck to everybody.
Thank you very much, Denise. Yeah, please, I'm referring to audience right now, so please use your chance to ask questions from our winners. It's the most valuable insight, I think. Okay, so thank you, Denise, again, and welcome, Dietrich. The floor is yours. Would you like to share any slides or? Yes. We don't hear you. You are muted.
Now it's better.
Yeah, perfect.
I will share just one slide. So yeah, many thanks, Tamara, and everybody else for the invitation and the possibility to speak here. I just want to introduce myself. So I'm Dietrich Kortenbruck, and I'm the CEO of Exa Computing GmbH. And what we're doing since 2017 is that we provided or developed and provided a telemetry solution for agricultural machinery. That means that we can cover the, some are working on the interoperability part on the machinery level already. And of course, this Atlas project was for us really good chance to improve our whole product. And that's why we participated in the first open call. And of course, for us, since our product is gathering data and making it available to other solutions, for example, getting as applied data from a CEDAR and sending it to the FMIS, it's really important for us to have interfaces to other systems so we can share data. And of course, the farmer wants to like work in the system which is best for his farm and not the one that like is available to him because it's a manufacturer solution or something. So speaking in the terms, for example, exchanging application maps or variable rate maps, you want the best solution to create that map and then send it to your machine. And this is something we are working on. And in this project, we have a specific use case, which is about nutrient transfers, detecting nutrient transfers. So we are working on connecting a weighting bridge and NIRS sensors to the Atlas system. So this is our goal here, to automatically report nutrient transfers. For example, like a manure spreader that loaded some manure, that went to the field and spread it there. This transfer of the nutrients or the load should be like reported automatically. And we're working on hardware and software to do that. And one of the test farms is already equipped with the hardware and software to do it. And this part is now mostly done, and we're now working on interfacing with the Atlas services or developing the services in the Atlas platform or network. Yes, so that's many thing about me and us and what we're doing here. I can really encourage you to participate here. As Denise said, it's yeah, it's really easy to write this proposal. Tamara is very helpful if you have any questions. Yeah, I can always suggest to write the proposal. And if you're in, then I really like that you can meet lots of people in the meetings. You can have contact to other companies which are the partners of Atlas. And it's really interesting to get to know how such a service, which is really a huge system, is developed from so many partners all over Europe. It's really nice to get some insight there. Anyway, I think that's all from me, from my side. If you have any questions, please.
Thank you very much, Dietrich. That was most helpful. Thank you all. I don't see any questions from the audience. That means two things. Either everything is clear or everything is unclear. Hopefully the first, and everything is clear. Yeah, so if not, yeah, please, we still have time to answer your questions. And also, if you come up with questions later on, you can contact not only me, but also Stefan and other colleagues, Gregory and Petros, but also our winners. They are very open to give you any advice. And today you met 2 of them, but we have 6 winners last year, so you can find all of them on the web page and contact them, because there are links to their web pages. Please feel free to ask any questions. I don't think they will hide any information. Right, so I don't see any questions. That means that we are, oh, no, one I do see. Right, my question regarding where technical Atlas approach extends or complements tech agri-router approach. I don't know if you are aware. Yes, Stefan?
I can comment on this, because I know AgriRoute and I know DKE, company responsible for AgriRoute, and they're actually part of the Atlas consortium through AEF as linked third party. I mean, the main difference we have here to AgriRoute is Atlas is decentral and participants are responsible for implementing services following a defined standard. So in AgriRoute, it's you connect your system if it's ready for AgriRoute, and they take care of data conversions and these things. And it's a centralized system. And the main difference is, as I said, Atlas is completely decentralized. So you are, as a participant, responsible for implementing services. You have to follow the standards we provide, and this makes this interconnection and interchangeability of services possible without the need of a central component in the middle which does this.
Right. Thank you very much. I hope it's clear. Another question: what is the duration of implementation of the service? It's 6 months. Can we get wheat or rice fields for testing the services? Wheat or rice fields? I don't know, Stefan, if you have.
I mean, wheats you have on the field usually, but rice, we don't have rice in the consortium.
But you, as mentioned, that was a question from Jessica. You are free to bring your own pilot site, so to the project. So you can state in your proposal that you are going to test your solution on your own test site. That's also fine. Right. So that seems to be it. No more questions. Thank you very much for your attention, for your activeness today. Thank you very much to all our speakers today. That was most valuable, most helpful session, I think.
Just an addition. So the last question, it was wheat. Was it wheat with W-E-E-D or wheat, which is Weizen in German?
Yeah, it's W-A-H-E-A-T. That's yeah.
Is it Unkraut or is it Weizen?
Weizen.
Okay, yeah, that's a different story. So we have our farmers are planting this. So this I confused it because wheat and wheat and sounds very different, similar. So the answer is then yes, we have these in the consortium, but not rice.
Okay, yeah. Another question from Jessica: are there any considerations in how big the test site is supposed to be? No, we don't. So it should suit
a private garden. It wouldn't be an agricultural use case, right? So it's should be a kind of agricultural operation. But if it's doesn't, we don't have any limitations in hectares.
Right. Another question: what about greenhouses and what about them? Disponia asking. Yeah, that's part of agriculture, and if you have solution for greenhouses, feel free to apply. I don't know which challenge would you recommend, Stefan, for greenhouses?
I mean, yeah, that's a good question, but all that weeds and pests are usually a problem. Irrigation is.
I would also say from farm to fork, right?
Farm to fork, yes, traceability of goods. So there are multiple things. Automated weeding.
The question was actually, is there any pilot site suitable for greenhouses?
No, we don't have greenhouses in the consortium.
Right. Okay. Good. Then we will finish at this point. Thank you very much to everyone again. And we are open for questions. And first of all, we are open for your proposals. Yeah, please don't miss the deadline, and please don't wait till the very last day to submit your proposal. Right, thank you very much, and ciao.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Goodbye.